What's going on, Benchwarmers? Welcome back to another fantastic episode. And yes, I know if you're watching this, you are just as excited as we are. If you're listening to this, we have the EPL Boys podcast on with us tonight. Thank you so much, man, JD, for joining. We really appreciate you guys. I want to get this moment to actually have you guys plug your podcast in as well, because you guys always have great content. Just like us, we talk about the EPL. You guys do the same, which is awesome. And also just remind the listeners and the viewers about who you guys support and who your teams are.
JD, do you want to go first? Or do you want me to start?
Well, I'll just say I'm a massive Liverpool fan. Anybody who knows me knows that. I was actually at the first game that Jurgen Klopp managed Liverpool against Tottenham in London in October something, mid-October in 2015. It was great. I didn't know that was going to happen. But I was a massive Liverpool fan for that, but that just enhanced it. But yeah, Matt, you can go over, the actual podcast because you're better at talking.
Oh, well, I wouldn't say better at talking. I scream louder than you. But yeah, guys, my name is Matt, massive Manchester United fan, JD's number one rival. I hate JD, but we podcast for some odd reason. You can find us at the EPL Boys. It's that on all of our social media platforms. We're the most prominent on Instagram. Once I figure out how to use the Facebook, then we might use the Facebook more. But yeah, guys, the Benchwarmers, one of my favorite soccer podcasts to listen to. So when they reached out, I was just like, hey, JD, guess what? We have plans on Thursday night.
I wish I was actually, joining JD and drinking some brews as well, but all I have is water, unfortunately.
As I drink a beer.
That's some
just rub it in, man.
That's some high quality H2O you got there.
Yeah, I know, right? H2O. And for anybody wondering, JD, can you just confirm who that is behind you?
That is a very prominent French Revolution 1700s era general. Best friends with Napoleon Bonaparte. His name is Nicolas Cage, or Nicolas Coppola for all you Nick Cage heads like me. That's his real last name.
This is great, man. If you're listening to this, please go to our YouTube channel and just actually put this on IG too, man, because I love that thing. That's the highlight right now.
That's like so. I've never seen anything like that.
That's so funny, man. That's great. But
that was like $15 on Amazon. It's great.
Worth the money. I'm gonna get
every penny.
Again, thank you guys so much for joining. And I mean, let's do what we're here to do, right? Let's talk about some Premier League action. So let's get to kickoff. Sorry if I blow your ears out, by the way. Fair warning, I'm gonna blow the whistle. I did it the way just to kind of, save your ears right there. But let's get into this weekend's first matchup of the week. It's going to be Watford versus Liverpool. Now, Nick is our Liverpool fan here on the bench. Les Smug, if you guys remember him, he doesn't show up anymore. I don't know why.
Sad.
It's sad. He became a dad.
Yeah.
Father.
He experienced life.
The life takes over at that point, right? But as a Liverpool fan, Nick and JD, Ranieri's first game, Watford have been, just horrendous. It's just Watford. They're going to get relegated most likely. But are you a little worried about this game? Should you be on your toes, or just another, Liverpool's 4-5-0 route?
Go on, JD.
I mean, the only worry is that the last time Liverpool played at Vicarage Road was a 3-0 defeat. But granted, Liverpool still did win the league after that, but it did break their unbeaten run. I don't have any. I have no worries about this game. Liverpool are on a tear this season. Mohamed Salah, every game. It's just he's definitely going to score in this game. I don't think this will be anything short from a Liverpool rout. I really don't, and that's truly being unbiased. I think anybody looking at this game as a neutral will be like, yeah, Liverpool's probably going to beat the shit out of them.
I would actually agree with you, but let me ask you one thing, because you mentioned the guy himself, and I did want to kind of get to this, but since you brought him up, Mohamed Salah. Nick said here before, in this current form, he's the best player in the world right now.
Current form, yeah. I really think, current form, like over the last 2 months, there's nobody who's playing better than him. There just really isn't.
Matt's giving a thumbs up, and coming from a United fan, it's kind of
I
want to hear.
It's
So-
true.
So I mean, honestly, JD is my witness. On one of our past episodes, we finished up with a couple hot takes, and I said it. I was like, on current form right now, no one is better in world football than Mo Salah right now. Like, and it is coming from a Man United fan. Like, he is just everything he touch is wonderful. And I think a huge benefit is that Sadio Mane is actually kicking off this season. It's making defenses actually stretch wide open. So it's giving Mo Salah a lot more opportunities to play in that one-on-one position, teaming up with Diego Jota. This is probably the best front three Mo Salah has been a part of since coming to Liverpool, even the years where Roberto Firmino was kicking off. Jota gives you an offensive threat that you can't leave alone. So now Mo Salah has all that time to isolate. And I also agree, against Watford, it's going to be a long day at the office for Claudio Ranieri in his first day at the club.
Yeah. And Nick, I mean, you've always you're a big Salah guy right now, and
Yeah.
I kind of wanted to like bring this up in a more subtle way, but you're losing Salah and Mane to AFCON in a few months. When is it? Like 2 months from now?
Yeah, and 2 months, January, almost.
And hearing Matt, break it down, United fan, break it down how important these two are to each other. How worried are you as a Liverpool fan? And then JD, I'm gonna take it to you too, because obviously, this is a big loss coming to you guys coming in the next 2 months.
I mean, yeah. So we lose Mo Salah, Sadio Mane, and Naby Keita. So I saw it's like 2 games. It'd be Brentford at home. Sorry, and then Palace away. So I feel like before people wouldn't know that it's only 2 games in January. So I feel like it's kind of blown out of proportion. It's like, oh my God, AFCON the whole month, but it's only 2 games.
If they go further?
Exactly. If they go further, it's only 2 games because FA Cup, and also there's something else during January. There's not that many league games. If you know, there's a lot of FA Cup games.
Mm-hmm.
So it's only 2 games. So I honestly, in my opinion, I think we'll be fine, to be honest.
JD, are you as confident as Nick going into AFCON, losing your talisman up top?
Well, I was a little more confident before Harvey Elliott's injury because he can definitely play on the wing, and he was looking really good in the beginning of the season. I don't know. He definitely won't be ready by January. He might be ready before the end of the season, but it's a big loss. Even if it's 2 games, those games is fucking Brentford, and I think we're gonna lose that game. To be perfectly honest, we should have lost the game against Brentford earlier, and it'll be a big loss. It'll be a big loss. You're gonna put Firmino, Jota, and probably Origi at the end.
That's horrid.
I don't know. Yeah, that's not great. It's not great.
Well, you still have a lot of young players. Curtis Jones is making some noise as well for you guys. So a lot of hope, a lot of things to hold on to there.
Wait. So JD was like, I'm actually kind of the opposite on the Watford game, to be honest. I just feel like it's such a game where it's like Claudio Ranieri's first game back, and it's also a 12:30 p.m. kickoff over there in the UK.
Yeah.
So it's just, in my opinion, it's just like all the stars align in the right place for Watford to just do the same thing I did last time. Actually, I think it'll be a draw, like a 1-1.
And they're at home, so you guys are traveling. Okay, so JD and Matt have a blowout. Nick has a draw. Marco, where are you falling on this side of the fence?
Oh man, this is a tough one. You know what? I stick to. I'm with Matt and JD on this one.
Okay, I'm gonna reserve my judgment and wait for the results to come out. But my last question for you, JD, on this topic: what are your expectations for Liverpool this year?
Honestly, the way they've started the season, the way they're kicking on, they need at the very least be in top 2. I mean, not like Champions League, of course. I think they have a chance to win the league. I mean, we're only almost 8 games in, but Chelsea's been kicking on. City's always going to be there. I think they can make a run. I think they can do it. Injuries will play a part, as you could see from last season with Liverpool, but I think they could do it. They've been doing well in their Champions League group stages, so who knows with that. But expectation-wise, win something. Whether it's the league, whether it's Champions League, whether it's even the FA Cup or the League Cup, win something. They have to.
Yeah. All right. That's fair. I mean, another coach, another team looking for some silverware. And I guess his first piece of silverware is Ole Gunnar Solskjaer and Manchester United. So, Matt, I'm going to bring it over to you. You guys are traveling over to the King Power Stadium. And I have so many things I want to go different directions right now because there's so many different talking points with United right now. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, is he in the hot seat? Ronaldo, is he the right signing for you guys? But I want to kind of take it a different route first. Hold on, let me just decline this call that I'm getting real quick. All right. That's on my screen. There we are. So before we get into this weekend's game, before we get into Ole Gunnar in his current situation, let's look at United's next run of games. Because this is gonna, I think, give us a better perspective and really give an educated judgment on what's gonna happen. So United have Atalanta, Liverpool, Spurs, Atalanta, Man City. Jesus Christ, I'm gonna call again. Sorry about that. Man City's international break. Then they have a Watford game, Villarreal, Chelsea, and Arsenal. Will United's, I guess, starting off this weekend, will United's away form stay intact?
I on our show we every single episode before games we do predictions whether a team wins or it's a draw. I labeled this as a draw. I feel like this is the type of game where United will be able to get something off of Leicester.
It's gonna suck.
But yeah, I agree with JD, and we talked about this game is really not going to be good. With Harry Maguire and Rafael Varane both being unavailable for the upcoming game, you're going to have Eric Bailly and Victor Lindelof as your two center backs. And I'm not here to insult anyone, but if JD and I suited up at center back for Manchester United this weekend, I'm pretty sure we would do probably just as well. So it's something I'm just extremely concerned with. Aaron Wan-Bissaka has been good defensively, as we know he can be, but again, offensively, he can't push forward. And Luke Shaw is pushing too far forward, which is really, really, that's been the way United's been giving up goals this year, is Luke Shaw being completely out of position because he's pushing too far up the wing. I know we were going to talk about Ollie and his job position, but yeah, that string of games, I understand Mike Phelan, the assistant coach, just got a new contract renewal, and there's also rumors that other assistants of Ollie are also in the conversation of getting new contracts, which, if it walks like a duck and it talks like a duck, it's usually a duck, which usually means Ollie's going to be sticking around for a little bit of time. But if United come out of that gauntlet of games with being outside of continuing in Champions League, outside of being in the top 6 of the Premier League, I don't know with this current side. When you sign a guy like Cristiano Ronaldo, top 6 and almost advancing in Champions League, that's not the line of expectation. You sign a guy like Cristiano Ronaldo because you are competing for trophies. And I've said it on numerous occasions. I think Ollie has done a wonderful job up to this point. I think he's done a really good job. He's gotten some dead weight out of the club. He's brought in guys, Bruno, to start off. I mean, having guys like Bruno, being able to bring people like that in, have changed the entire culture of the club. Ollie's done a great job, and the fans will thank him forever. But I think now is about the time where maybe you go out and you get the manager who's able to actually put a set game plan out. Because if anyone's watched Man United recently, JD and I make the joke all the time. It's just Vibe FC, baby. It's just basically go out there, have fun, guys. We don't need a game plan. You guys got this.
I actually agree with the Vibes FC part because, and we actually rate Ollie here. Like we think he's a good manager. I think he's a great a player manager. First of all, the way he control all those Eagles in there is kind of
relegated with Cardiff, but nobody talks about that enough.
Touche. Matt, any rebuttal there?
No, really none. I mean, honestly, I'm not going to hear and lie, but if we look back at that Cardiff FC squad, trust me, you're not going to find any Brunos or Paul Pogbas. But honestly,
where did he win his titles?
What you
Can you pronounce it? Can you please
is it
pronounce it?
Mardova? Is
No,
that it?
Molde.
Molde.
FC
Okay.
Molde. Oh, come on. Don't you know your Danish clubs?
Sorry,
Come on.
my apologies. I haven't played enough FIFA yet this year. I have to update myself on the Danish league.
I don't even think they're on FIFA, to be perfectly honest.
I don't think so either.
I don't think they are.
F's in the chat. But no, I agree with you guys 100% that Ollie has done an absolutely incredible job when it comes to managing the characteristics around the club, because there's plenty of times these players could have, like, they've gone on like bad streaks and this team could have easily turned on him. If we had a manager like Josie or Louis van Gaal, all we would have heard was just hostile, just a lot of just hostile vibes.
Mhm.
A lot of people forget in the middle of last season, Paul Pogba's agent, that gargoyle looking of a person, decided in the middle of Gremlin, yes. He decided in the middle of the entire season, right before an important Champions League game, decided to drop a massive bomb saying that Paul Pogba will never play for Manchester United again after his contract's over. If Josie was the coach, good freaking God, I could only imagine the hell. Ollie stayed quiet. Ollie talked with Paul, got him back into the team, and now Paul Pogba seems to be the happiest he's ever been. There's not many managers in world football who could have turned that situation into what the situation it is now. Paul Pogba is playing the best he's ever played for Manchester United in this current moment in time, and I feel like Ole Gunnar is a massive reason for that.
100% agree. JD, you have something you want to get out?
Matt, you brought up Louis van Gaal and Jose Mourinho. At least they won trophies with your club. Small trophies.
Shout out to Louis van Gaal, who literally won the FA Cup, and then United was like, have a great day.
That's all I have to say.
That was a mic drop moment right there. You know,
I love it.
So
I love it.
That actually kind of leads into my last question for you, man, United, and like what your expectations are. There's a lot of noise made, and I've been like kind of listening to United podcast because I kind of wanted to see what they had to say from their perspective as well. And a lot of what you're saying is it's all aligned. You guys are all kind of on the same boat, and a lot of people are saying that the signing of Ronaldo has brought this pressure of winning a trophy when in reality this team wasn't ready to win a trophy just yet. So one, do you agree with that? Is the Ronaldo signing bringing that extra pressure onto Ollie? And two, was he the right signing? Should he have gone for the central defensive midfielder?
So to start off, yes, 100%. And that had to be something that not only the board, but a lot of just old heads at Manchester United. Sir Alex Ferguson also was a big factor in Cristiano Ronaldo coming back to Manchester United. That had to be a conversation. Because when you bring on a guy who has more social media followers than every Premier League team combined, he's not here to cash a check and be okay with almost qualifying for Champions League or, just sitting in that fourth spot. That's not what he's here for. He had semi-struggles at Juventus and dipped the hell out of there because they weren't winning right now. Mm-hmm. I think this team at this moment still has the potential to stay in the Premier League title race. But I also did say at the beginning of the season in our season preview, no matter what, I think Chelsea are still the front runners in this league because Thomas Tuchel is still, in my opinion, probably one of the better tactical managers. And when he has a full force squad and Romelu Lukaku in form, there's no stopping that Chelsea side. I think United will stay in the race. I think that's a key thing. I think United will do their best to fight with Liverpool for that second or third best spot. I still think Man City are going to have a little bit of a drop-off. I expect Man City to have a drop-off. I feel like they have too many cooks in the kitchen when it comes to that central attacking midfielder position. They have like 4 or 5 cams, and their formation doesn't see them playing more than 1 or 2. So eventually someone's going to get ruled out. And I feel like there's a problem that's eventually going to happen with Man City, as well as Pep Guardiola. We don't know. He's now already started to drop rumors that he's going to be an international coach in a couple years and he's not going to renew his contract with Man City. So there's also that huge speculation. But to go back to Manchester United, it's a level of expectation that I do think is just a step too high for this team because it takes a bunch of, the pieces are going in the right direction. And I think the Jadon Sancho signing was a very big signing this year because it's showing that this team wants to be competitive, not only right now, but be competitive in 5 years. And that's a big thing for Manchester United. But Ollie now doesn't have the time to wait 5 years because Cristiano Ronaldo, Edison Cavani, Paul Pogba, Rafael Varane, these guys are trying to win now. Yep. So it's putting it's putting you in the fast lane and you better keep up.
Yeah, that's I mean, that's the pressure that Ronaldo brings, Messi bring, PSG are probably doing the same exact thing on their end. Plus they have like every superstar in that team and they can't even muster up a goal. So,
we did that podcast before Ronaldo went to Man United and you were like, I was like, Man United are like one of the biggest clubs in the world and they have to win now. And it only adds more pressure when Ronaldo joins, like one of the best players of all time.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's just like
a big club.
We were mentioning how United have to win now, even before Ronaldo came. And when Ronaldo went to Man United, it's crazy.
Yeah. One thing though to add, I know the back part of that question was it the correct signing? I still believe, and JD and I talk about it all the time. The reason why United will not push to that top spot is because McFred exists. I love
all the time, man.
I love Scott McTominay. I think if he was able to increase his defensive, the McSauce is lost, as JD likes to say. But McFred will.
The juice is loose.
Yes, the
juice is lost.
But no, Ollie unfortunately can't trust Matic to play 50 games a season at his age, and Fred is not good enough on his own. McTominay is not good enough on his own. So unfortunately, you have to play them together, which eventually is hurting Manchester United going forward. Because if you were able to have Paul Pogba and Bruno both be in a cam position, that's just scary to even think about. But unfortunately, we can't play that. And with Marcus Rashford coming back into the mix, who knows? But the back part of that question was he the correct signing? I think it was the correct signing. I understand the expectations, but we didn't know what was going to happen with Edison Cavani. Edison Cavani was also hell-bent that he was going to be playing for Uruguay for the majority of this year at every opportunity he could. Because Uruguay is still considered a red zone, United were expecting to miss Cavani for weeks in a row, if not months in a row. So the issue you had is Ollie didn't feel confident putting Mason Greenwood as the one and only striker this club has, because I think even Ollie has given up on
Martial
and Anthony Martial. Yeah. So the fact that I even forgot his name just for a second only speaks volumes.
I mean,
he scored.
He has a Ballon d'Or clause in his contract. Let's not forget that.
I think every single player ever to come to Manchester United has a Ballon d'Or clause in his contract.
Wait, Matt, so with United, what do you think it's going to be like the established front three? What do you think is going to be the front three that's most played by Ollie this season? Whether it's Pogba on the left or Rashford, or what do you think?
Well, I think the goal is once Marcus Rashford does come back, I think Paul Pogba is going to be asked to go back into the midfield. I just think Ollie is going to try to get the best out of Paul while he still has him, because we still have no idea if Paul will be here next year. He's very hell-bent that he doesn't even want to think about contract negotiations until the end of the season, which is pretty scary when you have clubs like PSG, Real Madrid, and Barcelona who might be able to swoop in and get this guy on a free when a weekly wage doesn't matter. Financial fair play won't stop you there. You also have Newcastle in the mix now too, but
we'll get in there. We're getting there. Trust me.
But I think the goal front three will be Marcus Rashford, Cristiano Ronaldo, and Jadon Sancho. I think that is going to be the goal front three for this season, because Jadon Sancho
Jadon Sancho done.
Well, the thing about it is
that money.
Yeah. Well, again, he's got to acclimate himself to the league. I mean,
what do you mean acclimate himself to the league? He fucking grew up in the league.
Yeah, he grew up in the league, but he was able to grow into the Bundesliga. He needs time to grow into the Premier League.
There was a stat about that where the first 7 games at Borussia, he had nothing, and then after that, he exploded.
Is the thing about he just needs time, but honestly, the majority of his production came from the right side. When he did have to play on the left-hand side, which is where he's playing right now for Manchester United, he wasn't getting the same productivity. He likes coming in from the right side, and he likes to actually put his balls through the box instead of cutting in and trying to finesse his way in. He likes to run at defenders and run towards that goalpost. He doesn't want to finesse. He wants to get to a spot where he's able to whip in a ball. He's not able to do that from the left-hand side at this moment. So when Marcus Rashford comes in, I think that's the front three that Ollie is going to look for. But the biggest factor is, can Paul Pogba play that number 8 and get back on defense when they need help? Because I think the goal is that eventually McFred is not going to continue, but you're going to Scott McTominay, who looks right now to be the CDM at choice. He's going to need help because he can't do it all on his own.
That's a big shout right there.
I mean, with Jadon Sancho, he's like a weird player, like in terms of his profile. Because I always mention like he's not fast enough to beat a player, but he's very technical and he's very creative. So I feel like with him, I feel like maybe years down the line, I feel like whether Ollie's a manager or now or someone else, I feel like the manager may have to cater the system towards him because he's very, very talented. Like he's such a creative player, and on his day, he's ridiculous. So I feel like down the line, they may have to cater that system for him to do what he does.
I could not agree with you more. I mean, honestly, this is a guy who, for the last few seasons in the Bundesliga, has averaged 20 assists. And I get it, it's the Bundesliga, and say what you will about your opinions about the German league. Getting 20 assists in a league season is outstanding. Like, I get it that you have Erling Haaland to kick the ball to, and basically you can give it to him at midfield and he'll just run through defenders and you'll get your assist credit. But yeah, this guy just needs time to acclimate himself back to a new system, getting himself back into the country. It's going to take time. That was the game plan right from the beginning. I don't think any Manchester United fan can honestly say that they expected this guy to get one game under his belt and just kick off.
I disagree.
But then again, JD, we're not United fans, so we're quick to come with the fire, And I would actually agree with you. $100 million, but 100 million, right? That was
in American dollars, something like that.
Yeah, it was like 75 million pounds or something.
Yeah,
like that.
It's a price tag thing, When they play like that,
you should really expect at least a goal or assist by now.
Look, Pepe got it, and we got ridiculed for him when he came to Arsenal, and he's still been like kind of shit for.
That's Arsenal though.
Yeah,
that's what they do. That's what they do.
But not to jump. I think Pepe has now, after a year or so under his belt, I think he's now starting to grow into his role. It's a time thing, and yes. You have guys like Bruno who jump into the league and 2 games in have already been like, holy crap, he's the greatest thing since sliced bread. I don't even remember a time I was happy before Bruno, to Jadon Sancho, who might take a little time. And honestly, I think patience is key, but I think that hurts Ole Gunnar because Ole needs results now. Yeah. And having a guy patiently grow in the league is not helping his position at all.
I mean, you have a player like Sancho who has to grow in the league. You have a guy like Van de Beek who can't even get on the pitch.
Haven't even talked about Mason Greenwood.
That was the one who wanted
Where does he fit in here?
Because he's a shot monster.
Because if anybody listening has listened to me talk about Mason Greenwood, this dude is one of the best young players I've ever seen in my life. Real deal. And he is wasting his life away at Manchester United. Even a Manchester United fan in Matt's side just said his preferred front three would be Marcus Rashford, Cristiano Ronaldo, and Jadon Sancho. No mention of Greenwood. Are you kidding me?
Hold on.
He's the best player, or he's the best young player there.
JD is failing to ask, because this is a question that has been brought up on our podcast. Ask me what my dream front three is in 2 years. When Cristiano Ronaldo's contract is done.
Please.
You're going to have Marcus Rashford, Mason Greenwood down the middle, and Jadon Sancho. Now, here's the thing. Jadon Sancho, it's not like Cristiano Ronaldo is going to be at Manchester United for another decade. He's only going to be here for 2 or 3 years. So the thing is Mason Greenwood right now is 19 years old. So when Cristiano Ronaldo leaves, he's going to be 22 years old. I'm sorry, that's still very, very soon in his career.
He's one of the best attackers you have right now. You should probably just play him right now.
I disagree with that. I think it's still going to take some time for him to fully be able to learn the position because because Ollie has only played him on the right-hand side. He needs years to learn how to play right down the middle.
And he scores goals. Like,
so that's where I kind of fall on Matt's side, where I would agree with Sancho just because of the creativity, and that's something that you would need on that side. But Mason Greenwood, though, he's a shot monster and he's 2-footed.
But imagine you've been playing against Jadon Sancho for 65, 70 minutes, and then they bring on Mason Greenwood. It's like
that's a fair shot.
Yeah, I had this question like we were mentioning with Bruno coming in and lighting up the league, and then we mentioned like Sancho. Like, what do you guys think is like the reason? Like, how come Bruno came in and lit up the league, but how come Jadon Sancho? I always had that question. Like, how come this player? You know what I mean? Is it a mentality or like, what do you think?
Because Bruno takes the penalties. That's why.
I mean, dude, I rate honestly. Like,
sorry,
like you mentioned like De Bruyne. Like with Bruno, like I rate him so highly. I think he's so good. I actually like have him ahead of Bruno. I mean, ahead of De Bruyne. That's how highly I rate him. But it's just I always find it interesting with that kind of thing. Like, is it a mindset? Is it more like, yeah?
I think a lot of things. One, I think it's just the formation and basically how the team is playing. The way Manchester United was playing when Bruno came in, it was heavy counterattack, get the ball to the number 10, the number 10 turns and hits runners. So basically that was their game plan. And that's what Bruno was playing with at Sporting before he came over. They were a very heavily counterattacking team where he was able not only to run on the counterattack, but be able to hit players on the pace. Bruno had some of the fastest players in the league on his team when he first got here. Mason Greenwood, Marcus Rashford, Dan James. It's easy to hit these guys on long counterattacks and help up with that quick build-up play. With Jadon Sancho, he has to learn how to get into the formation. Ollie has a set. He's trying to do the 4-3-3. So Jadon has to work his way into that formation. When Bruno was coming into United, we needed a number 10 for our current role, and he fit the formation and what we needed at that exact second. So when he came in, it was a perfect fit for him. It's not the perfect fit for Jadon Sancho. Jadon Sancho has to work his way into this.
So United are in I would say in a good situation when you have a lot of good players to like if you're struggling to pick a player and the other player you're deciding over is another shot monster, a fantastic young player, you're in a good situation. So I wouldn't say anything to kind of beat yourself over if you're trying to pick between who's the better player right now, because they're both fantastic players. Mason Greenwood has been putting more output out, but I think Sancho, like you said, will grow into the league. Agent 007 probably won't be here for much longer. So what do you guys have for this? We didn't even talk about the game. Leicester versus Man United. This is actually a pretty good big matchup with Brendan Rodgers. Apparently already said no to Newcastle, so he's sticking to Leicester. How do you see this game going, Matt? I'll kick it off with you first, and JD, I'll get your opinion as well. How do you see this game ending up?
I think this game is going to be extremely cagey. Leicester City are known for a team that wants to sit back, absorb pressure, and hit on the counterattack. But as well, I think United are not going to be playing with much. They're not going to be playing reckless. They're going to try to keep things as tight as possible. With Harry Maguire and Rafael Varane both not being available, I've already made the joke about Victor Lindelof and Eric Bailly. So for me, it's going to be a defensively minded game. I could easily see Ollie going with possibly a back five with Aaron Wan-Bissaka teaming up with Victor Lindelof and Eric Bailly just as a third center back option, with Diego Dalot being in at the right wing back just to help with some offensive gameplay. But mostly I could see United playing this game extremely defensively. I think United would I predicted this game would be a draw. I think Ollie and United don't have just enough defensively to be able to risk it and go, straight forward and just go out for an all-out attack. So I think it's going to be cagey, but I think this game, honestly, I could easily see this game being 1-1 or 2-2.
All right, JD, what do you have?
Yeah, this game's gonna fucking suck. It is a big matchup that will not be good. Leicester, I don't know. They've not been good this season, and United without their first choice center back pairing, and Bailly and Lindelof. No, Jamie Vardy is going to terrorize that back two right there. He is going to run riot.
Is he doing the?
Oh my God! If he does the Ronaldo, oh my God, that would be scenes.
It's old news now. Everyone fucking does it.
Yeah, you know what though? It's Ronaldo, so it's funny. And imagine if a guy in America in the MLS did that, and Ronaldo wouldn't be there to call him out because Ronaldo doesn't come to America anymore. But that's another story.
It hasn't been done yet.
I think I know what you mean by that.
Yeah, it hasn't
read between the lines there.
I don't think it's been done yet in the MLS, but I think in Liga MX someone did it recently. I think I remember watching.
But it's different with Vardy because if Vardy does it, like it's gonna be like everyone's gonna be eyes on him because it's Vardy.
Oh yeah. Oh well, he's the shithouse king.
He's gonna score in this game. I don't remember what I said on our podcast because this was later in the podcast. And I was a number of beers deep, and I don't remember. I'll have to listen back, but I'm gonna say right now this is gonna be a draw for sure. A boring draw, whether it's 0-0 or 1-1. I think Vardy scores here, and then United gets some bullshit penalty that Ronaldo takes because Bruno can't fucking take penalties anymore.
Yeah. Big yikes.
How do you see this game going, Nick?
I actually have United winning. And I mean, in the same sense that Matt said it's gonna be cagey, but they're just gonna nick one goal, like late as hell, maybe like a penalty or some like scrappy goal that they just scenes 2-1
way.
The United way.
A nice Fergie style victory right there.
Yeah.
Marco, do you have any surprises for us in this game or no?
I'm going to go against both of y'all, and I'm going to say it's going to be a game with a lot of goals. And I'll give it to Leicester City 3-2, 4-3, something like that.
Okay.
Marco's always big with the results. He always goes like 4-3 or.
If this game ends up 4-3, a Leicester City win, there's no need to call me because I've probably had 2 heart attacks before the end of this game.
Marco, it's all. Look, if it happens,
my dying words will be a text to Marco. Okay.
Yeah,
so
the Marco jinx. It's the Marco jinx. All right. So if it does happen, just be aware. So that wraps up the Leicester versus United game. We got our pick of the week for the weekend. If you guys agree or not, let us know what your pick is as well. But we chose Brentford versus Chelsea.
Oh,
you guys
yeah.
Any other matchups to keep an eye out for?
No,
just that one. We've made, like, JD has made the jokes. I've made the jokes. We're buying all the Brentford stock. Like, well, I don't know. Arsenal Crystal Palace sounds like a great game to watch on a fucking Monday afternoon.
No, man. Come on. What kind of bullshit is that, bro? But
yeah.
Fucking hell. But yeah, I mean, Brentford versus Chelsea, that's gonna be an interesting game. The next thing we want to talk about is not really about the game itself, but more just the context of the game. Newcastle versus Spurs. It's the first game since the takeover. Steve Bruce is still there, but we know his days are numbered. The next one to come in is supposed to be either Steven Gerrard or Frank Lampard. First of all, JD, I'm gonna go to you first. What are your thoughts about this takeover, and how long do you give Newcastle until there's something to fear?
See, here's the thing. It's great for Newcastle supporters. It is just an influx of billions of dollars. And look, you can look at Manchester City and how good it was for them. It took a couple years. It did. They signed some big players right off the bat. It took a couple years before they actually, won the league. They still haven't won Champions League, which is fucking hilarious. But the bigger issue here is that a country owns a club, and they'll say that that's not true, but the fact that question was actually asked means a country probably owns the club. Saudi Arabia, I can't think of the fund. It was like it's like the public fund or whatever, but it's Mohammed bin Salman, the leader of Saudi Arabia, owns this club, and there has to be a conflict of interest there. I mean, you look at Sheikh Mansour owning Manchester City. It's insane. It is just absolutely insane what money gets you in the world of football here.
Just to give you some context, apparently he's trying to buy Inter as well now.
Great. Wonderful. That's just what we need. Just the game is gone at that point. I don't know. I'm excited to see what Newcastle do because it'd be fucking hilarious to see. Like I was saying on well, no, not even Holland. I was saying on the EPL Boys podcast that's gonna release on the same day as this one, I think. I was saying Eden Hazard. Could you imagine that fat fuck joining Newcastle United? That'd be so fucking funny.
We don't body shame on the.
I'm not body shaming. I'm not
Bring
body
Nasri
shaming.
back.
This
Bring
guy
Nasri
is
back.
making $300,000 a week. The least he can do is just not eat 4 fucking cheeseburgers a night. Like that. I don't feel bad saying that because he is in a position where he can at the least just stay in shape.
It's all the Spanish paella, man.
I don't know. No.
Yo, JD, do you know that meme on Twitter where they're like compare Salah to Hazard, and one person was like, "I'd rather have the Egyptian King over Burger King."
I haven't seen that, but that's hilarious. That is hilarious. I thought you were gonna say the whole Ronaldinho versus Salah thing that's been going around. That's such a dumb thing.
So a little sidebar, not to go completely off the rails, but this was a topic that was not in our podcast, but in our chat. I have to ask you guys real quick, just to kind of get more tallies on here. Big Mac or Whopper?
Ooh, I don't have either, but I go for the McGangbang from McDonald's.
That's not.
And y'all know what that is.
That's not
Y'all
a
know
choice,
what that is,
bro.
Yes, it is. If you order a McGangbang at McDonald's, every single person that works at McDonald's knows exactly what you're talking about.
Eric had it before.
I never. So there's this ongoing joke that apparently I brought this up to like everybody, and
we all know this except for Eric. We all say that Eric was.
So first of all, Marco wasn't even here.
Yes, I
wasn't
was
even talking to us
when
this moment happened. So he's just lying out
he
of his
does
ass.
not remember.
I
don't know how drunk he was, but he does not remember. But if you ask anybody, including Diego, he will say Eric was there with us.
It's actually not true because I never knew what it was until they brought it up to me, and it's so funny that you brought it up because I didn't know that it was a thing.
Not know what existed. I not know what a McGangbang is. It's on the secret menu.
I know what it is now, but like they all swore that they brought this into their lives, and like I'm like, what?
It was my childhood.
Like the only things I get at McDonald's are McChickens and French fries and sweet and sour sauce. That's my go-to meal at McDonald's.
We got half of McGangbang.
Apparently, I had no idea, but these guys swore that I made this thing up. I'm like, dude, I've never heard about it before in my life.
It's a very well-known thing.
And then you bring it up, and it's like, oh wow, that's so funny. That's hilarious. So if I go to McDonald's right now and ask for a McGangbang,
yeah, they will 100% give you a McDouble and a McChicken.
They're gonna laugh at you, but then they're just gonna charge you for those 2 items. They're gonna laugh at you, and then they're gonna slide it over, and they're gonna tell you to have a great day.
So they're not gonna take me behind the doors and turn off the lights, and then
no.
They
They will give you those 2 sandwiches that you combine into a McGangbang, and it'll be the greatest fast food experience of your life.
That is so funny. All right, I'm happy about that. Oh, Matt, Big Mac or Whopper?
Haven't had fast food in like a decade, but I do remember like a Big Mac has a nostalgia factor to it, but I remember the Whopper tasting better.
Ooh,
damn,
okay.
that's a point for Diego, I guess.
I just feel like the Big Mac, I think like with everything that's added on to it, it gives you like a nostalgia taste where you're just like, wow, yeah, man, I'm having a Big Mac. But I think like actual taste,
bread.
Yeah, I feel like the actual taste of burger, which is what we're all here for. I feel like the Big Mac, the Whopper wins on that one.
Oof. All right. So we got the EPL Boys opinion on the Big Mac versus the Whopper.
You got one McBang.
That's so
like if you're
funny.
doing a tally, if you're doing a tally, you add mine to the normal thing, and then you have to create a separate bar.
A secret menu.
It's the right answer. It's the right answer.
I'm so happy
a lot
you
of people
brought
would
that
agree
up,
with
man.
you.
I'm so happy you brought that up, bro. Thank you, man. That was hilarious. Oh man. But yeah, so I mean, we were talking about the Newcastle takeover, right? JD, you were just last telling us that the game is gone if they take it over. How long do you see this Newcastle? How much time do you give it until they are actually a team to fear in the league?
Here's the thing, honestly. Newcastle are in 19th place right now.
Yep.
It's a hilarious time to take over Newcastle because they realistically can't do anything until at least January. And what are they going to do in January? I mean, maybe they'll bring somebody in.
Martial?
Yeah, Martial. That'd be funny. I rate Callum Wilson over Martial, so I don't see that as an upgrade. What if they get relegated this season? Could you imagine if Newcastle got relegated this season after this massive takeover? I want to say it won't happen because they'll do something in January that I don't know. I don't think the game is gone just based off this Newcastle takeover. It's just the precedent it sets. Man City said it first. Well, maybe not first, but in the modern era, Man City said it, and I don't know. I'm afraid because of a lot of the human rights violations that Saudi Arabia is accused of, and this is not the place to talk about that really, but I don't know if that's the right backing of a Premier League club.
It's not.
I'm trying to be like a little on the like not on the fence, but like not trying to like make.
I get you. I get you.
But I don't know. I don't like it.
I heard.
I'm interested. I'm interested to see what they do. It's like when you start a FIFA career mode and you throw the 500 million pound like thing on the start. Like I've done it. It's fun, but
see what happens.
See what happens, and I don't know if it's going to be good for the league. I really don't know.
The only thing, and I'm out. I definitely want to get your opinion too, but I've been reading a couple things, and one thing that really stood out to me that I read is that football as a whole is kind of eating itself now, with getting this money hungry. Now, with the rumors of the World Cup being every 2 years, with more international competitions, with the Super League just getting past that, which we know is going to come back in a couple of years again.
Of course,
it sounds like the game itself is starting to eat itself in its own greed. It's no longer the grassroots game that we all love, that we all grew up on. Matt, how do you feel about this? United have always been a big club, but now with the likes of Man City, the likes of Newcastle, the likes of Chelsea, again, another person who had a lot of stick as well, Abramovich. Are you, as a United fan, do you see all these big clubs that you guys have a lot more history, a lot more how do I put it? I guess foundation like within the country, but like these other clubs are just pure money. Do you think that's really going to start? We're going to see their separation from like the money teams versus like the grassroots teams like United, Arsenal. Spurs?
I mean, I look at it from this point of view. I mean, Manchester City only spent a few more dollars compared to Manchester United. Like that's a key thing. Like, honestly, yes, you have all these clubs, not just in the Premier League, but around the world, who are being bought out by these princes in these countries of oil. And they, again, fair play to them. They had their stuff rejected a year or so ago, and the Premier League accepted it now. So, I mean, if everything is legal and everything is across the board, I mean, I can't say I physically have a problem with someone coming in and buying Newcastle. Mike Ashley wasn't doing anything with the club. I honestly, if you pointed to an English map and you asked him to locate where Newcastle play, he probably couldn't tell you. So it's one of those things where, and trust me, I have the same problem too. I think the Glazers have been in Manchester 3 times since owning the club, and 2 of them were for a Cristiano Ronaldo debut. So it's pretty fucking sad. But yeah, overall, I have the same thoughts as JD does. I'm not a fan of these countries where we all know how they made their money on the back of people and free labor. And I just have a problem. Yeah, I just have a problem with the fact that the Premier League, especially since, being the biggest league in the world because of the amount of views that they get and the players that do come in, they need the most money being poured into the club. And God knows how much money Newcastle's new owners paid to have their bids accepted. because it's amazing that in less than 2 years, they had a bid rejected to a bid accepted, when I don't feel like there was a money difference. Like, I think the club sold for about the exact same that it was listed a few years ago. So
viewing rights.
That's what I'm saying. I have a problem with just how this is all going to happen. But yeah, it's the exact same thing that happened with Manchester City. They're going to come in. It's going to take a few years, because yes, Man City got away with murder with the financial fair play laws and all that other stuff, but it's not like Newcastle can come in and sign Haaland, Mbappe, Neymar, Messi, Ronaldo,
Sure
all
they
these
can.
players, all in
Sure
the
they
same
can.
all in the same transfer window. The key thing that I think Newcastle, if they want to do, first of all, JD makes a very, very good point. Don't get relegated this year, because it doesn't matter how much you're paying certain players. You're not going to get the best names in the world playing in the championship. Like, it's just not going to happen. So I think their goal, probably in January, they'll end up signing a few, good players to just make the squad competitive enough to stay up. And then in the summer is probably when they're really going to go in and they're going to really start to like pick at who they want. Look at what PSG did this last summer. Get guys on freeze, because financial fair play can't touch you if you're getting these guys for no money. Theoretically, you're still paying them a paycheck, but go ahead and go get Mbappe from PSG, who's going to be leaving on a free, and pay him $750,000 a week or $1 million a week. Go ahead. It's, do what you will. Get yourself some free transfers. Make it worth your while. Paul Pogba is a free agent this summer, and I'm telling you right now, would not surprise me one bit to see Paul Pogba in a Newcastle jersey next year.
Ooh, that is a hot take right there, bro.
He'll go where the money is. Honestly,
Damn.
if Paul Pogba was smart, he would go to either Real Madrid or stay at Manchester United, because his most important thing is his clout. He wants to make sure that his social media is one of the most viewed social medias in the world, and you're only going to get that at the clubs that have the most followers. So if you're looking at it from that point of view, and his fashion lines, because Paul Pogba from what I've heard, he has a fashion line or something like that, but along the lines of, he's trying to get his clout up. So his big thing is going to Newcastle. You'll make more money. Congratulations. But your social media reach won't be as high.
But who's in his ear? Raiola.
Oh yeah, Raiola. Who?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who's in his ear? Who is gonna push him to one or the other?
What is it? I was hearing some bullshit about if he wants to re-sign with Man United, Manchester United would have to pay a $15 million agent fee. $15 million to the agent? Are you?
Do you remember when Cristiano Ronaldo bought Raiola a fucking island, a private island?
What? He did that?
Yeah, he did that.
Ronaldo's not that. Wait, that's not right. He's not Ronaldo's agent.
No, Ronaldo bought somebody else, like his somebody else in that or some shit.
Oh wait, who's Ronaldo's agent?
Jorge Mensch.
Yeah.
Oh, that okay. Yeah, I was getting scumbags mixed up. That's how I was getting mixed up. Yeah, every agent in football is a scumbag. 100%. Yeah, no, that's on me. That's on me.
That's fair. I listen, man. I agree with you. Super agents are ruining the game, but you definitely had a hot take there where Mbappe is going to be free. Pogba is going to be free. And Erling Haaland's clause, I think, can be activated in January.
It's what,
70?
Was it
65? Yeah. I think it's 65.
Wow.
I think it's 65 million.
Is it likely to happen? No. But
hey, money talks,
as JD
man.
put it,
money talks.
I'm interested to see what happens.
Yeah, I am very interested.
Yeah.
I'm very interested.
Oh, this will be very much the entire footballing world will care about what Newcastle is doing in a year.
I can't wait. I can't wait for the HITC sport video. Honestly, that's what I'm looking forward to. Fucking Irish guy. he's gonna fucking eat his scarf.
Yo, man, this is gonna be interesting for years to come. But we'll see what happens. We'll see how they start off this new era under the new owners, and Steve Bruce is still in the club. So my last question to everybody here is, who is the next one to take over? Because Steve Bruce's numbers are numbered. He's gone. Nick, who's the next manager?
Graham Potter.
Matt.
Antonio Conte.
Ooh, he loves money.
He loves money, and he'll be able to build that team from scratch.
Ooh. JD.
Brendan Rodgers comes to his senses.
Ooh,
He wants that
he's
Man
gonna
City
do a
job.
Turnaround. He's gonna do a
He wants
U-turn.
that Man City job in a year and a half. Guess what? You need to do better at Leicester right now. And right now, you have the opportunity to go to Newcastle United with basically a blank check. Fucking take it.
Ooh,
Fucking take it. You've never had this
Rodgers.
opportunity before. And-
U-turn.
oh my God.
That's true. That's true. Marco, who's the next manager?
This is for next year, right?
No, not for next. Actually,
General?
possibly by next game week. Honestly,
Fuck. I don't know. Conte sounds about right to me.
it's a project build. We'll see if he's up for that. I'm gonna give it to Stevie G. I
That'd be
want to.
tough.
No.
I'd wanna-
I'd like to see that. I'm not gonna lie. That'd be.
I
tough
want to
as
see
hell.
that. I'm interested, JD. I'm interested.
No.
You put it in my
no.
brain. I'm interested now, man.
No, I don't want to see Stevie G there.
I want to see
Fuck
Stevie
that.
G, Erling Haaland, Mbappe, and Pogba all on
No,
the same
no.
team. The same Maxim scoring bangers like he did this past weekend.
No,
I want to
this-
see it now.
This is look. I try to be as biased as possible, but this is me being very biased. I love Stevie G at Rangers for the time being until Jurgen Klopp retires, and then it's just a nice transition. That's biased, JD,
That's
right
every
there.
Liverpool's dream right now.
Yeah.
My brother gets wet thinking about that sometimes.
Yeah, pretty much.
Sorry, that was a little X-rated there. But we'll go on to the next and final matchup, which is going to be on a Monday, lovely afternoon. So if you are not going to catch this game, I'm not surprised because you're probably working. I'll be watching it in my car on my drive home, most likely. Arsenal are going to be hosting Crystal Palace, where Vieira makes his return.
Vieira. Ooh.
So I'm excited to see how the crowd, welcomes him back home. But I can kind of get the sense as to what JD thinks about Arsenal. So I'm gonna come to you last for this one. But Matt, real quick, how I want to get your opinion. How as a United fan, how you view my team, Arsenal, how you view us in this current situation, where we are as a club. Are we in the right path? Are we in shambles like everybody else is saying? What's your opinion on that?
So we were lucky enough to have our very good friend, Kevin Pettit. I think you guys know him as well from Lads podcast. He is a massive, massive Arsenal fan and a major talking point. We actually were able to get him just at probably the low point for Arsenal this season, where it was not looking good. Unfortunately, I think Arsenal are in a little bit of an interesting situation because they feel very guilty letting Wenger go when they did and not giving Unai Emery the time. So they feel guilty, and that's the reason why Mikel Arteta has the ability to he's going to hang around for a little bit, but I think that's the right choice.
Talk about coach of the month last month.
Hey,
Finally!
couple
1-0 victory.
Hey,
I'll take it. I'll take it.
Hey, how many
I'll
points?
take this cup if I can.
Hold on. Jay, I was about to say, that's the joke I'm hearing. Everyone's like, they only won 1-0. It's still 3 points. But yeah, honestly, I'm telling you right now, I think maybe as a player coach, Arteta might not be the number one guy. Like, of course, there was the big conversation over the last few years. Ollie, Big Frank, and Mikel, who's the best of the bunch. And, of course, unfortunately, Frank Lampard was terminated.
Unfortunately.
Well, depends on if you like Chelsea or not.
Exactly.
Yeah, I think Mikel Arteta is, I think he's the right guy for Arsenal. I think he is. And honestly, he tactically gets it right a lot more times than he gets it wrong. And I think if he just continues to get the players he needs in the transfer window, he wanted Thomas Partey, and you're seeing him now probably as one of the better CDMs in the league. And honestly, before Granit Xhaka's injury, that partnership was one to really look out for. Odegaard was probably one of the signings of the year, probably by the end of the season, because he will be massive for Arsenal. To just wrap this up, I do think this game is going to be a draw, strictly because the rest of the league is getting used to this not being your grandma's Crystal Palace. Like, this is a new Crystal Palace who is not going to play the 4-4-2, who is not going to sit back and absorb pressure, and who is not going to wait for Wilfried Zaha to score 2 amazing goals. This is a team that actually has players that can do stuff. And I think both of these teams are really going to go for it. I think this is an absolute treat for a Monday afternoon game.
Thank you for that, man. I appreciate it. Now you got me excited for the game, which is kind of rare in this season. But as of late, it has been good. JD, I want to hear your thoughts. I have a feeling I know you're gonna go with this, so I'm kind of bracing myself right now.
Arsenal fans, cover your ears.
Oh shit! I knew it. I fucking knew it. I knew it.
See, no. See, here's the thing. This is the last game of the weekend, so I 100% don't remember what I said last night when we were recording the EPL boys. Look, this is actually a better Crystal Palace team than I've seen in recent years because look, you got young guys like Edouard. Actually, I don't know his age, but I know Conor Gallagher is very young. You got Eze. Is he injured? I feel like he's injured.
He's injured.
Yeah, he's injured. Yeah. He's one for the future. I say that, immediately when I say that, and it's like, no, he's injured. I know that, but he's very good. This Arsenal team, look, they have some great players. They have some awesome players. I don't know. Aaron Ramsdale, come on. And I'm a little biased because I fucking drafted Bernd Leno in my fantasy team. And I've been starting him ever since. But no, listen. Because I also drafted fucking Dubravka on Newcastle because I knew he was injured and I was like, all right, that's gonna be my starter once he comes back. And then Bernd Leno gets dropped. I've been fucked the last weeks.
How much is Rams though? I'm sure he's cheap.
No, somebody already has him. The Fantasy Premier League is the dumbest thing
do the
ever.
drafts.
Yeah, the snake draft. It's impossible because
so hard, man.
It's so hard.
Nobody wants to trade.
Nobody wants to trade. You'd think Bernd Leno would probably start over Aaron Ramsdale. No. Are you kidding me? Ridiculous. But besides that, you have Alexander Lacazette. When's the last time he played? A meaningful game for Arsenal?
Yeah.
It's crazy. Aubameyang, cool. But I just don't see enough from Arsenal. I do think they'll win this game. Because when it comes down to it, this is Crystal Palace. I think Arsenal could beat them. They're gonna give them a challenge. This will be an interesting game. I don't think it'd be a great game. I don't know. I think Arsenal win 1-0, maybe. I could give them the benefit of the doubt.
I hope so. I mean, the 3 points could be very, very, very helpful at this point.
Yeah. Stop them from getting relegated. But
for real, exactly. And
could you imagine?
Oh God, no, please not.
AFTV, Arsenal fan TV. That would break the internet.
It would break the internet.
If Arsenal were even close to relegation.
They turn into Newcastle FC TV probably, but no, but I mean, I actually kind of agree with you as far as I don't know what to expect for this game because my thing with the Arsenal right now, they're so young. It's a very young team.
You're banking on Bukayo Saka and Emil Smith. You're banking on them having a good day. I mean, and they're too young. They're too young to bank on them doing that.
Odegaard's 22 years old, and we're treating him like he's gonna be the captain. Yeah, I love all these players, and I'm excited for every single one of them. But yeah, they're super young, and with Granit Xhaka being out, although he gets a lot of shit. I still think we're better with him on the side on with him and Party. I know he gets red cards when we least need them, but when he's on his day, he'll have one really bad game like he did against Man City, and then he'll go on a fucking 10-game route where he's just phenomenal. But without having him there, it's not having another leader there, another mature skipper to help the young kids. I'm a little bit nervous because I feel like Vieira is going to get into these players, into Zaha, because, Zaha's an Arsenal fan. There's an Arsenal connection there with Vieira. So he's probably going to get the extra oomph out of him in this game. But I am hoping for the win. We are at home. I think the home crowd has been huge addition for Arsenal. I feel like more than a lot of teams. Not to say that fans aren't a factor, but you just see the impact on the team. Like Aubameyang, for example, is a player who thrives on showmanship. He's not an introvert. He's not going to self-motivate himself. No, he needs people like applauding him, amping him up to get the goal, and he needs that crowd. So
I don't think you can do front flips and be an introvert at the exact same time.
I would say when's the last time when's the last time he flipped? It's been a while.
Yo,
it's been a while.
That's what he thought. I mean, will he find his form this season? I hope so. But yeah, to your point, JD, Lacazette,
What's
I
he
feel like-
doing there?
I feel like
what is he doing there?
I think right now, the way that we're trying to play, he actually suits our system better. But because he's not going to be there by the end of the season, he's just blocking the path for somebody else to continue to develop or to build that chemistry with.
Like,
So-
Gabriel, what's his face?
Martinelli.
Martinelli, yeah.
So there's a lot of things going on. And one reason Marco actually said he should go on loan this season. And one big reason why I didn't want that to happen is because one injury, we're fucked. And we already see that with Granit Xhaka. So one injury up top, we're fucked. And Martinelli, although he's still a young kid, he reminds
He's
me
good.
of
He's
reminds
good.
me of
He's
I'm
very
not gonna say I'm not gonna rate him as much as Greenwood at right now I would, but he reminds me of him as far as he's like a shot monster. He'll just like shoot from anywhere and everywhere he can. But I mean, a lot of young players. I think we're definitely building for the medium to long term, not the short term. And that's why I do agree with Matt when he said that Arteta is going to be here for the long haul because this team isn't a short term solution. This is a medium to long term solution. This game, I'm gonna be biased. I am not shameful in saying that because we are at home and I am confident. So I'm gonna go 2-0. 3-1.
I got 2-0.
2-0 because Ramsdale has been pretty good between mistakes.
I got
Our
2-0.
defense is looking pretty good. I sense it. I feel it.
I got 2-0 as well.
2-0?
2-0 to the Arsenal.
Yes. Marco, what you got for us here?
I'll give it a 2-1. As
2-1.
much as good as he has been, I feel like there'll be one that will escape him.
Yeah, him and Ramsdale, I'm guessing? Okay.
But we're winning, of course.
All right. Awesome. Thank you for that. So with all that being said, I mean, we covered pretty much all the games. I mean, Man City is playing Burnley. Yay.
Fun.
So yeah. I mean
5-0.
94%.
5-1. No. 5-1.
94% possession.
Can you guys I actually liked your bet. Can you bring that up one more time?
So, like I said on our podcasts, usually our Friday episodes, we will have basically JD and I, like I said, we make jokes, but we pick a winner and a loser, a draw, something like along those lines. We have a little thing going of what percent possession will Manchester City have by the end of this game? And I put if you're a gambling guy, because JD is the king of gambling guys,
Degenerate.
we have there's no money on this bet, but this is just something to look out for.
Should be.
We should have money on this, but we labeled the over under of possession for Manchester City at 82.5. I chose the over. JD chose the under. So I actually
at 80, very much right there, but
I think for some odd reason, I'm going to see we're going to be at 84% or something like that. I think that's just going to go over.
No chance.
If you're listening or watching this, make sure you go to the EPL Boys podcast and let them know, are you over or under? I think I'm over. Are you over or under?
I'm under.
You're under?
I'm with JD.
JD's under?
Just
perfect.
barely under.
Barely.
I think there should be a wager with the overs versus unders. Whoever loses, TikTok season, man. We're used to it here with the head to head, so we're not having a head to head this week. So I encourage you both. Whoever said over or under, losers have to make a TikTok and post it on social media.
I don't have TikTok.
Well, JD, I'm gonna make you download it.
The hell is TikTok?
Well, you don't have to post it on TikTok. Just give a TikTok trend. Record
it'll go on Instagram.
And post it
Damn,
on your
Matt. So it's you and I, man. I'm watching this game and heavily invested.
Oh my god!
I'm blaming this on you if it goes south.
I'm gonna make JD do the worst dance on earth and put it to the dumbest song possible. So
I love it. I love it. Let's do it. All right, I'm in for this bet.
Right.
I'll virtually handshake you guys. I'll physically handshake you because you're right next to me. So we'll do that.
So who's over?
Matt and myself are over,
And then
JD are under.
JD and Nick are under.
Yes.
Okay, all right.
It's gonna be under. Nobody goes over 80%. Come on.
First of all, Marco's making us do this, but he's not giving us his input.
That's true.
He's
That's
trying
true.
to get slick at
Yeah, that's true. I mean, that's how our quiz.
There is no need for me to be involved.
Touche. You already did a TikTok dance, so we'll let you slide out of this one.
Bro.
With all that
Watch out
being
my
said,
moves.
guys, thank you so much for coming on. We appreciate you guys. Love your content as always, and you guys are awesome perspectives and inputs you guys give. So thank you so much again. Everybody go check them out, the EPL Boys podcast. You guys want to plug it in one more time, just remind them.
It's exactly that. At the EPL Boys, we're the one and only. Didn't have to fight anyone for social media names. Yeah,
Crazy, actually.
yeah. Available everywhere. Our podcasts are available anywhere you get your podcasts. So again, if wherever you're listening to these guys, you can listen to us as well. I think we have the same release schedule. So when you're done listening to the new Benchwarmers material, come over, give us a listen, and then you can, jab at both of us and see where we disagreed with each other.
100%.
Also ask Matt to pronounce anything foreign.
Nope.
Just in the comments, please ask him.
Don't do it.
Oh,
because I will make him. I will make him.
I always struggle pronouncing this German team. Mönchengladbach.
Mönchengladbach.
It's Munster Gladbach. Yeah.
Borussia Mönchengladbach. It's not hard.
It's
not hard.
I know because I know he's listening. Okay. Andrew from Welcome to the Bundesliga let me get away with just saying you could just call him Gladbach. Just call him Gladbach, and everyone who watches German football will get it.
Borussia Mönchengladbach.
It's not hard. Like
Düsseldorf.
That's the only one I
Düsseldorf.
Look at that. When you're done listening to your two favorite English Premier League podcasts, head on over to Welcome to the Bundesliga for some German action.
There you go. And learn how to pronounce the names properly, right?
Yes, sir.
All right. Thank you guys for listening. Thank you guys for watching. We appreciate it as always. You're the bench with the voice, where the bench is always warm. Peace, everybody.